Age of Ultron, made by these guys, starring these guys. We're moving past that, okay? You should know this by now. If you are watching this, that means my embargo is finally done, and I am allowed to show this to you. That means I've watched this movie 3 weeks ago, just got out of the Disney lot up in Burbank. They finally gave us food. Woo! Oh, Jesus. Age of popcorn cleanup, Jesus. But enough of that, I'm gonna go straight into the review. At this point, Marvel just needs to take the Avengers A logo and make that pretty much the grade for all of its movies, because gotta say, Avengers Age of Ultron brings the goods once again, adds another gem to the Marvel slate. It's freaking awesome. It's outstanding. In terms of the bow tie score, I'm giving this one a 4 out of 5. This is a summer movie to beat this year. Round 2 for Joss Whedon brings back the humor of the script, the balance of the characters, great action, and just an overall a barrage of geeky nerdgasm that feels so good. Now I'm going to tell you why. Let's start with the script, which is probably its best asset. As with Avengers 1, Joss again brings the comedy and the wit and the self-awareness, that's not a word, back into play, and it's as good as ever. It's actually quite crazy how much mundane talk can be so refreshing for this franchise. The moments where the film is most interesting is when these characters are just sort of not in sort of superhero mode. They're just having discussions and talking about life. You know, taking these characters that have been so established before and you thought that you knew, and just bringing another piece of them into light and making that sort of the crux that differentiates this from part 1. And for Hawkeye fans, I'm happy to announce that he's a much bigger role this time around. He has so much more dialogue. We really get to see a glimpse into his personal life. He finally feels like an integral part of the team. And that's going to be something that I'm sure a lot of you are going to enjoy. So now let's talk about Ultron. Ultron looks and feels amazing. The CGI is on point. His facial expressions are just so expressive. And of course, James Spader, he was given the whole mocap treatment with his face. And so the expressions you see on Ultron are really him. It's his performance. And what's even more exciting is that in the trailer, he was pretty much shown as someone who's just straightforward, like evil, brooding, and just does not take anything lightly. But I gotta say, you actually get a little bit of the James Spader wit in there, the sort of sassiness that James Spader is known for. It's actually in Ultron. You will see another depth to Ultron's personality here. But the one downside of Ultron is that his motives are very one-dimensional. He's basically just I need to destroy Earth and no one's stopping me. That's really it. So although his motives are one-dimensional, Ultron is ultimately very entertaining. So I just want to quickly move on to the next robot, which I don't want to spoil, so I'm just going to be quick about it. Vision, his makeup is freaking phenomenal. It's amazing. Paul Bettany in the facial makeup and the suit is hard on. Vision is a sort of hybrid bio-skinned but robot at the same time, and they get that in his face perfectly. There's like layers of some sort of synthetic stuff, but you can also sort of see Paul Bettany's real skin, and it's just this amazing, interesting hybrid that really gets the point across, and it's just phenomenal. The colors, the suit, guys, don't worry, Vision is a vision. Now I'm gonna move over to the action. The action this time around doesn't sort of have the same spectacle as the first Avengers had. It's not as flashy, and in a lot of ways, it's not as exciting. It's much more emotionally driven, which could be a bad or good thing for you. But they're still great. You know, the Hulkbuster sequence was great. The last sequence, which I won't spoil for you, but the big finale also has some really epic moments. But it's still quite enjoyable. And finally, references to future projects and the mysterious end credits scene, or lack thereof. As you know, Marvel's already announced their Phase 3, so a lot of people are sort of speculating that perhaps there's going to be a ton of nods to that Phase 3 slate. For me, like, I'm not a huge comic book nerd, so I may have not seen every little intricate piece. But as an MCU fan, I don't think there were many nods to upcoming slates. At least late ones. Of course, they are planting seeds for Civil War. We kind of get that with that scene between Tony and the Cap with the wood busting. For other slates, Black Panther is a sort of obvious one too, but nobody mentions anything too specific besides the fact that Claw is in it, played by Andy Serkis. There are some nods to perhaps Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Tony references more than once, you know, that space is out there, that there's more to Earth. There's definitely a space, an intergalactic thing going on here. And to the end credits sequence, there was none. Sorry. Okay, well, I gotta preface that with the fact that I already assumed that they weren't gonna show us one if there was one to be shown. And it's been stated that the makers have not made one, and they are telling you that because they don't want you to get pissed. So, you know what? I'm still kind of iffy about that. Something's telling me it's sort of a bit of a red herring that they have to have the end credit sequence because they always have to have one. That being said, guys, Avengers Age of Ultron does things right. Joss just gets the balance so well accomplished. And in my opinion, more so this time around. So would I say this is better than the first one? In my personal opinion, yes. In terms of balance and just how fun it was, yeah. So don't expect anything new. Expect the best of the same, and you're gonna have a good time. So guys, that is my review of Age of Ultron. It is coming out on May 1st. I hope you guys have your tickets, and this is the start of the summer, and it's exciting to know that this is what they're bringing us, you know? So yeah, I will see you guys at the next review, and see you guys later.